Hi, this is Chris the Trailblazer here again from NoChurchianity.net, and today I'd like to talk about the topic of divorce or relationship breakup. I'd like to just briefly get into the reasons why people have failed relationships and marriages and what can be done about it. If you look in the evangelical community, you'll see that our divorce rate is actually slightly higher than it is in the population in general. There are several reasons for that. Perhaps the most important is that even within the Christian community, people don't actually follow the biblical model for marriage. And then if they are following that model, what you're doing is cutting against the grain of what our culture preaches, the way that men and women should live today. To put it straightforward, if you're having marital difficulties as a woman, you need to start treating your man as a man, and as a man, you need to start treating your woman as a woman. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, for the woman, there's two biblical mandates that I would say probably cause problems in 90% of all marriages when they're not being followed. One is wives to submit to your husband in all things, meaning the husband is to be the head of the family and to make the final decisions. And two, that neither party is to sexually deny the other one except for a very short time when they're doing prayer and fasting. I would say that actually probably 90% of marriages are in trouble because these two mandates aren't being followed. So if you're a woman involved in a marriage that's on the rocks, getting ready to go to a divorce, many women have gone ahead and started following these biblical mandates at the end and watched all the other problems that they've had in their marriage, the problems they've had with their husband, take care of themselves all at once. Now, as far as what the men can do, the men biblically are commanded to love their wives as Christ loved the church, and on a practical way of doing this, it means that you're to, love and cherish her. Maybe start treating her as you did when you were dating, opening doors, sending her flowers. That might get your wife to start following, hopefully you're both Christians, but even if not, start following some of the other biblical mandates herself. A lot of times one of the parties just unilaterally has to, take the plunge and say, I didn't realize there might be a little bit of fault on both ends. Maybe it's totally the other person's fault, but I'm going to just be the bigger person. I'm going to try to save this marriage. And even though there are biblical reasons for divorce, such as desertion and adultery, God wants you to stay together overall with the person that you married for life. And that's the way that God intended it. And so I think if you find yourselves in a problem relationship, in a troubled marriage, whether you're Christian or not, just go ahead and start following these simple procedures, and I think probably 90% of your marriages can still be saved just by following God's model. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can reach me through my website, NoChurchianity.net, or just go ahead and drop me an email through the link here at YouTube. I pray you all have a blessed day and a blessed marriage.